Welcome to Cosmo Talks. I'm Petra. In this episode, we explore why mood doesn't only live in your head and how you can be a good host to your microorganisms. Because together, you form a fascinating ecosystem. And when the interaction is right, when the crosstalk runs smoothly, you flourish. You're having a bad day. Everything irritates you. Your colleagues, the weather, even your coffee tastes wrong. And you think, what's wrong with me? Why can't I handle anything today? But what if the question itself is wrong? What if your mood today didn't start in your head but somewhere else? What if your gut set your mood hours ago and you're only now feeling the result? Today, you'll discover why you have a second brain, literally, and it's in your belly. Your gut contains more than a digestive system. It contains a complete independent nervous system with as many neurons as a cat's spinal cord. This network operates largely on its own. It reacts, it learns, and it sends signals upward, constantly. The question isn't whether your gut influences your mood. The question is, are you listening? In your intestinal wall sit roughly 500 million nerve cells. Together, they form the enteric nervous system, literally your belly brain. It's the only organ outside your skull that can function independently, even if the connection to your brain is severed. This belly brain does much more than digest. It produces neurotransmitters. It responds to your microbiome. And it communicates with your main brain through the vagus nerve, a nerve pathway running from your brainstem down to your belly. Here's where it gets interesting. The traffic on that nerve runs 80 to 90% from the bottom up. Your gut sends more signals to your brain than the other way around. Think about that for a moment. Your belly is constantly reporting to your head about what you've eaten, about how your microbiome is doing, about whether there's inflammation, stress, or deficiency, and your brain responds. It adjusts your mood, your alertness, your motivation. Not because it decides you should feel that way, but because it's processing information coming from below. Your microbiome plays a key role in this. Your gut bacteria produce substances that directly influence your nervous system. GABA, for example, the neurotransmitter that calms you. Certain bacterial strains, like Lactobacillus rhamnosus, have been shown to increase GABA activity. In mouse studies, these bacteria reduced anxious behavior. And when researchers cut the vagus nerve, the effect disappeared completely. The connection between gut and brain was quite literally the messenger. At Cosmo Group, we saw this pattern most clearly in people with long COVID. Many of them had no gut complaints in the classic sense, no abdominal pain, no diarrhea, but cognitively they were exhausted, concentration problems, brain fog, a mood that made no sense. When we analyzed their microbiome, we saw shifts we recognized from stress-related patterns. Certain bacterial strains were strongly suppressed. Diversity had decreased. The production of short-chain fatty acids, so important for the integrity of both the gut wall and the brain barrier, was disrupted. The most touching message came from a woman who hadn't been able to tolerate music for 2 years. No stimuli, every sound was too much, until we started supporting her gut-brain axis, not with psychiatric medication, with nutrition, timing, and targeted supplementation. She sent a message. I listened to a song for the first time, not for long, not loud, but without being overwhelmed. Her brain wasn't broken. The communication was disrupted. And when that was restored, she came back. Here's the shift. Your mood isn't a mysterious output of your psyche. It's a system output. the result of signals from your entire body, with your gut as an important sender. This isn't reductionism. I'm not saying emotions are just chemistry, but I am saying you have more influence than you think, not by thinking harder about your emotions, but by improving the conditions in which they arise. If your gut is inflamed, if your microbiome is impoverished, if your nervous system is constantly sounding the alarm from your belly, then it makes sense that your mood wobbles, not because you're weak, but because your system is correctly responding to bad input. Change the input, and the output changes with it. Here's your first biohack for this series, the morning check. Before you grab your phone, before you make coffee, pause for 3 questions. How does my belly feel? Tense, calm, bloated? How is my energy? Alert, foggy, sluggish? What's my first emotion? Curious, irritated, neutral? Write it down. Every morning, 7 days. You'll start to see patterns. Maybe there's a connection between poor sleep and a tense belly. Maybe low energy always follows certain evening meals. Your belly brain is already talking. This helps you listen. This was Cosmo Talks. You're not alone in this. Your body is always working with you. Everything in you is interconnected. Want to be part of a community of like-minded people who believe in flourishing together? Visit cosmogroup.eu. Until next time.